For many centuries, members of the Moss family have been attractive. Their stunning good looks bring in a lot of admirers and cash for them. Okas, the oldest son, has become an internet celebrity. Because of his good looks and his reputation as a love guru who teaches guys how to win over their crushes, he has amassed millions of followers. Parker, the father, was a heartbreaker in his past. He dated over 1,200 women before he met their mother. Also, the mother has some good looks, what with her bearded face and prominent mustache. Amidst all of the sons, our hero Kulin stands out as the most handsome and youngest. Except for Kulin, who finds it difficult to lead a normal life due to his attractiveness, the rest of the family has grown accustomed to their lives as attractive individuals. A lot of the time, he wishes he were just somewhat handsome. In this manner, he would always be able to go without being pursued by a swarm of ladies. Looking at his handsome visage often causes girls to lose their composure, black out, yank out their hair, and even break their noses. Kulin. Very unfortunate. Because of this, he has never really talked to a girl. He has been homeschooled up until this point and tries to avoid going out in public whenever he can. Except for his pet fish, Kulin has no human friends. Frequently, he engages in card games with it and even speaks out to it. His worried loved ones keep an eye on him through a security camera. They are doing all they can to ensure that he has a typical adolescent experience. In an effort to set him up with a partner, Okas often sends him photos of girls. But Kulin claims that the kind of girls he dates are the ones who reject him. He would rather be known for his interests and character than his appearance. Maybe Kulin envisions a romantic relationship between himself and his fish. When all other attempts to get Kulin to go out fail, his family resorts to extreme measures. In an effort to shame him into attending college, they want to pretend to have money troubles. One night, Kulin's parents act as if they are anxious about their finances when he wakes up to drink water. They make a dramatic announcement that, until they save enough money to pay for Kulin's homeschooling, they would only eat scrambled eggs for breakfast. Being a bother to his parents makes him feel terrible. He makes it official the following morning that he would be attending classes for the forthcoming term. Until he says he'll only attend an all-boys school, his family is ecstatic. They would have liked it if he could talk to girls, but they are content to take things slowly. The first day of Kulin's formal education occurs a few days down the road. Kulin remains helmeted as Okas sets him down on his bike. He intends to conceal his good looks all day long by donning it. Unfortunately, things don't work out as planned because the helmet turns heads more than he had anticipated. As Kulin takes a seat in the final available chair, the class bully CD and his henchmen suddenly summon him to their attention. Even the instructor is taken aback to see a student wearing a helmet as she walks into the classroom. At that very second, she begs him to take it off. Even though he is hesitant, Kulin feels he has no choice but to comply. He dramatically removes his helmet one piece at a time, exposing his face. It was a disastrous strategy. A scene later, the educator is lowered into an ambulance. She began to hyperventilate and nosebleed due to Kulin's attractiveness, it turns out. The new student's good looks have caused the other students to gripe to the principal. One of the bullies trips over Kulin as he dashes home through the hall. They act like Power Rangers as they introduce themselves and take him to the school's storage area. The principal's son CD heads a gang of 3 bullies known as the Tig Attack. Following the exaggerated introduction, they admit that they require Kulin's assistance in asking a girl out on a prom date. After 3 years of high school, the group is now in their last year. They will not let CD graduate unless she goes to prom with Amanda, the most stunning girl at BBM. Kulin is wanted by the group to give the proposal because she only accepts requests from gorgeous males. They choose a naive man named Kibbo to accompany Kulin and show him the ropes. Kibbo feels compelled to comply with the bully's demands since she, too, has fallen prey to their tricks in the past. Following this, Kulin and Kibbo formally report bullying at school by visiting the principal's office. Kibbo continues to accompany Kulin despite knowing the outcome. The principal's son's refusal to graduate is causing him distress. Following the bully's orders is principally desired since Kulin's attractiveness affords him the opportunity to ask Amanda to the prom. After discussing it that night, Kulin and Kibo agree to finish the assignment the following day so they can avoid being held responsible. In spite of Kulin's attractiveness, no one has ever treated him with kindness until Kibo. The day may not have gone according to plan, but he is glad he made a buddy. When they arrive to the BBM school the following morning, the girls detect the male's scent. The school has a zero-tolerance policy about unattractive boys. It follows that the whole school demands that Kulin remove his helmet the moment they see him doing so. The girls are led to chaos when Kulin removes the helmet in the final scene. Kulin. Very unfortunate. The news reaches television just a few hours after it happens. Videos of ladies writhing in pain, bleeding from the nose, experiencing possession, and generally going ballistic are going viral online. Amanda, a model, and Kulin, the too handsome to handle guy, become the most popular students at the BBM school. Upon hearing the news, she falls head over heels for Kulin as well. First of all, he's as handsome and well-off as she is. She decides she must win him over right now. As soon as the news breaks, a swarm of young women congregate outside the mass residence. They are started to charge by the family for a tour of the house. While he is hiding out on the streets, Kulin watches the news and sees his family. His own people have betrayed and used him, he feels. He becomes even more distraught when the visitors abuse and kill his pet fish, and he still won't return home no matter how many times they call. Now he's hiding on a building's roof from the insane people who are chasing after him on the streets. Out of nowhere, a girl approaches from behind and asks whether he plans to leap from the roof. She doesn't black out or bleed from the nose when she sees him, and Kulin glances at her in disbelief. The girl just walks away without saying a word. Kulin is incredibly anxious and barely able to form words. He feels much better after the experience. Kibo answers his phone and invites him to his house after some time has passed. He and his grandma are more than happy to let Kulin remain for as long as he desires. Upon entering Kibo's chamber, he beholds two uncommon, collectible playing cards, which astound him. It dawns on them that they have a lot in common, and collecting playing cards is one of them. They continue their search for yesterday's girl the next day by visiting the all-girls school. In the course of their meeting, they also provide Amanda the CD containing the proposal files. Amanda acts as though she is unimpressed by Kulin's attractiveness, but her nose bleeds heavily after he departs. On the stairs, Kulin spots the girl he has a crush on, but he can't approach her because of the other girls around him. Kibo and Kulin become close friends and spend the next 3 days doing everything together. Kulin is accompanied by Kibo to a futsal match one afternoon, where Kibo often sees Riri, the object of Kulin's affection. Kulin sees the girl from the roof working at a local shop after the match. He finds himself fixated on her. At that very moment, Kibo shows up and introduces Riri to his family. Just as Kulin was mentioning Kibo's crush earlier, she turns out to be his as well. Kulin can't help but feel envious of how close they appear to be. The sensation is so novel and perplexing that he has a hard time falling asleep that night. Next thing he knows, he sets up a meeting with Okaz, who seems to be a love guru. Okaz sobs uncontrollably with joy when they finally meet the next morning. His long-awaited opportunity to counsel his brother on matters of the heart has finally arrived. Kulin is glad that his family betrayed him to his followers. Otherwise, he never would have met Riri. While Okaz makes a mental note of everything Kulin should do to win over his crush, the brothers go grocery shopping. Following Okaz's advice, Kulin realizes he doesn't know Riri as well as Kibo does, but he refuses to abandon his first love. Amanda drops by the boys' school one afternoon to give Kulin her birthday invitation. It comes with a phone as a present from her as well. Kibo, Kulin, and Riri head out to karaoke later in the day. Riri and Kulin finally have an opportunity to sing duets. Riri is completely absorbed in Kibo, despite Kulin's enthusiasm for duetting with her. He quickly notices that she reciprocates his feelings for Kibo. His envy crushes his heart at the realization. With Kibo away, He decides to ask her straight out if she has feelings for him. Riri first denies it, but her countenance falls when Kulin fabricates the story that Kibo has feelings for Amanda. His suspicions are confirmed by her expression. Upon reaching his residence, Kulin contacts Amanda by phone to request a favor. She cheerfully agrees to carry out his every command. On her birthday, a number of guests show up at the location the following day to celebrate. Amanda is there to greet Kulin and Kibo as they arrive. Interestingly, she appears to have a stronger attraction to Kibo than Kulin. She goes so far as to take him away to have a private conversation. Simultaneously, Riri shows up at the celebration and spots Amanda about to kiss Kibo. Devastated, she flees to the outdoors. Kulin uses her frailty as an opportunity to tell her how he feels. Even though she expresses her gratitude, Riri insists she has never considered him anything more than a friend. Kulin receives zero benefits from his plot against his one and only best friend. When the gang of bullies sees Amanda planting a kiss on Kibo, they are understandably outraged. They pounce on Kibo for it, and Kulin stands by, too afraid to do anything. After they get Kibo home, he and his grandmother tend to his wounds. Kulin doesn't comprehend how bad his decision is until he hears him complain of pain. Kulin finally gets his hands on a legendary card from Kibo's collection the following day. Kulin admits to all the wrongdoings he has committed up to this point, his guilt overwhelming him. In shock and pain, Kibo feels the betrayal. If he had known that Kulin liked Riri as much as he did, he would have left her, he says. Kulin is just made to feel worse by the words. Finally, Kibo tells him to leave the house right now. Kulin just walks away, realizing he was wrong. 1 month later, he goes back to his hometown. Even while his loved ones are ecstatic, Kulin isn't feeling the love. Without leaving his room, he isolates himself. His best friend is the one thing he misses the most, though. They occasionally cross paths, but they never exchange more than a quick look. There is concern for Kulin's welfare on his mother's side at home. One night, she sneaks up on him and hands him his immortal pet fish. If he would rather be homeschooled again, she assures him that he is free to do so. His loved ones are willing to sacrifice everything for his pleasure. After hearing her remarks, Kulin feels a surge of encouragement and knows that he has supporters who want him to succeed. This encourages him to mend fences with Kibo. He tells Riri everything in a flurry the following morning. After that, he tries to make amends with Kibo. Despite Kibo's initial dismissal, he begins to express his love for Riri when asked about her. Kulin proves to him that Riri listened intently while he spoke on the phone. This allows him to repair their friendship and return to being their mutual supporter. They all attend prom together a few days down the road. Riri is Kibo's date, and Amanda is Kulin's. Does anyone know what became of CD, the bully? I don't care. The prom king and queen titles are duly bestowed upon Kulin and Amanda, as anticipated. The beginning of a new relationship begins when Kulin is immediately attracted to a girl after hearing her say that he is only somewhat gorgeous.